Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Ellie. We're going to play with some more makeup today. So I wanted to continue doing not really full palette, but companion palettes. I like this. This is the Urban Decay Afterdark palette. It kind of came out right as they were discontinuing the electric palette, and it's a more muted color story. But I wanted to do something with Druggy and Paralyzed as my shimmer shadows. And then I wanted to add in the discontinued Dragon Child from Menagerie Cosmetics. It has all these lovely mattes. We'll probably stick to these two purples, maybe a little bit of the blue or the teal. Mainly because they have two shimmers in here. They're nice, but they don't blend very well into the mattes, in my opinion. So since there's no darker matte or darker shimmer in the palette, I find them hard to use as one palette. The mattes are lovely, so I like using the mattes, and I kind of just skip out on using those two shimmers unless I have a plan for them. I might tag in Lucky for the inner corner. We'll find out. I don't fully know my plan. We'll see what happens, and as you saw in the After Dark palette, it is a shimmer-only palette. There are no mattes, which I almost always have a matte in my crease, or I use like a satin as a one shadow look, but I'm not likely to build a look with those types of shades unless I've got some type of matte around the outside to frame it. Oh, I touched something. So yeah, I want to do that. I have some neutral singles set aside, but we did a neutral look yesterday, so I'm trying not to do too many in a row, especially because it would, in my opinion, be kind of a shame if I'm at home, no dress code, and I use that time to do only office appropriate looks. So we're going for using up some of the colors, despite the fact that I'm kind of really tempted to do just really easy neutral looks. I'll do that tomorrow, because I'm most likely running an errand for my mom tomorrow, and will not scare anybody else who's out and about trying to run quarantine errands. So I'm just putting the eyeshadow primer on my face. Foundation and primer are on. Yeah, it's just been, we're coming up on, this will be almost one full week of being home. I've watched a lot of Netflix. I'm most likely going to go for a walk tonight. It's super windy. And I finally signed up for, Chris Hemsworth is putting out, he's had a fitness app for a little while now, and he's putting it out for a 6-week free trial, you know, since pretty much all the gyms are closed. And I was interested but not fully committed to it, but I want to see what it's about, so I did actually sign up. I don't think it's going to do anything super amazing, but maybe it'll give me a little variety to kind of skip through and have some interval workouts and stuff to do. There was a section about meal planning, which I think could be really cool. In theory, there's a way to search by ingredients, so you could theoretically put in like what's in your pantry and have it suggest recipes for you. I don't have that issue currently, in that the stuff we're buying is specific for things we want to make. I don't have a ton of random stuff at my house. Normally it's all ingredients for specific dishes per the recipe. And, you know, stuff like eggs and milk, flour. Yeah, I shaved off the outer edges of my brows because I really, really want to do stuff to my hair. But I'm also growing out all the stuff I did to my hair. We're so close. I have just like that tiny little bit of bleach left on the top layer ends. But since everything is closed, I can't go and get a haircut to get that cleaned up. And the whole point of my current situation was to grow all of the processed bits of my hair out, so I would then have virgin hair so we could perm it, which means I cannot cave and bleach it and do stuff to it like I want to. And my hair's short enough that I can't really do much cutting of it other than like adding bangs, which is probably a bad idea. I haven't had bangs in a long time. I didn't hate them, they're just, I don't want to have to figure out how to do that with them. I'm gonna start with Worm. It's very pretty. And I'm thinking if I do a little bit of Worm and a little bit of Dragon Rider, we can get a really nice, cool looking tone. As per what I've been doing, in order to avoid fallout, I've been taking smaller amounts on a very fluffy brush that will allow it to kind of blend out more easily without all the dangers that I tend to have of picking up too much product and getting a ton of fallout on my brush. So we're trying real hard to not get fallout on my foundation, because the combination of primer and foundation and setting powder, I like it, but it's not the same as some of the other times where I was using like a loose setting powder, which allowed me to really kind of do a good strong layer of, this is not a better word for it, but powder, just kind of like borderline baking, so that there was that top layer of kind of sweep-awayable powder that would not allow eyeshadow to stick to it. But with the formula of the pressed powder I've been using, it doesn't seem to build up the same way as the other ones, so we will see. So now I'm going to take a little bit of Dragon Rider and kind of layer that over the outer edge. See if I can get that purpley blue gradient happening a little bit. Again, with the slower building helping quite a bit. There. Sorry, I'm focusing quite a bit. I'm going to go back in with Worm and kind of sink it into the crease and make sure we don't lose too much of that purple. No. I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, it is still very windy outside. I'm I'm going to go in with a slightly denser brush and keep making sure that worm is there. I do have a bit of a bald patch over there, but I can't mess with it too much, and I'm not leaving the house today. I'm going to do a quick little, just kind of make sure the edges are fine. I don't know if you can see, yeah, right there. Slight bald patch, but I very well might cover that in shimmer in about 2 seconds. Okay, so plan is Paralyzed and Druggy, which are not great names. Have some type of fuzzy on my lip. Let's start with Paralyzed on, maybe I can find it. Yep, needle fiber. I'm going to start with Paralyzed, which is the dark navy blue, and just start packing that on out here. Which already has some fallout under my eyes. Lovely. It's a pretty color though. I finished Tiger King. I also read a book, but I don't think everybody's reading that same book the way everybody's currently kind of watching Tiger King. It's a lot. Twas a lot. Pretty sad to see the ways some people start out wanting to help animals and then end up doing the opposite and really hurting them in order to profit on them. So, I do think the story about Carol and her husband is suspicious, like everybody seems to. Picking up Druggy now to put on the inner third to half. See, it's not as light as I hoped it would be. That is one of the things I grumble about, is other than like Scene and Alter, they're all kind of mid-toned one-use colors, like not things you would build into a detailed look. Which makes a little sense with it being an Afterdark palette, like a darker thing, but I think they just lightened up the tone on a couple of them. It would have had a lot more people in love with this palette. Oh, and the fallout is everywhere. Everywhere. But it does look quite nice. Take a little bit left over of Paralyzed to blend out that edge. And then we'll pop back into Dragon Child to put, might as well, to put Lucky on my inner corner. I'm going to take kind of a pointed brush because I remember these being a little hard to pick up. very pretty once it's there, just doesn't behave like a lot of the other shimmers that I have had. Kind of needs to be packed down and then smudged out. A little bit like those Gimme Glow shimmers that I have, where if you don't have the right brush and plan for them, they don't really play nice. And I think they're very emollient, which is part of why like Firefly does not lay well over matte shadows. It doesn't blend nicely into like one, it doesn't fade out, kind of sticks, which can be really helpful, but on something like this where you'd want a darker matte to blend into it, it's not super helpful. Okay, now let's see what I can do about all of that fallout. We might just have a ton of it on my face. Who knows? Ooh, I can use a little bit of my powder, which I have major pan in. Ooh, a little bit still. Not all gone, but a good chunk gone. Most of it. So now we will knock off the rest of the powder. Might still be on my face. Angling stuff looks like it's gonna fall on me. It's so dangerous. So I did finish a book as well called The Vegetarian by Han Kang, I believe is how you pronounce their name. I liked it. It's one of those ones I had been interested in. I bought it. I never got time to like really sit down and read it, and I finished it over the last couple days. I like it. It's interesting. It handles a character kind of having a bit of a psychotic break, and almost none of it is from first person. Like, the first section is the character's husband and how he's reacting to her going vegetarian and refusing to eat meat. And then the second section is the character's brother-in-law, who kind of fetishizes her. And then the last section is from the character's sister, expressing opinions on both the other men's interactions with her sister. It was rough. There are little snippets of the dreams the character's having that is what drove her to go vegetarian. But other than that, it's all other people's interpretations of her and what she says to them, not her own experience while kind of succumbing to schizophrenia. It was very interesting. I kept expecting to have a first-hand perspective, and they never gave that to me. But it was nice. Interesting. I like it. I like weird stuff, and they gave her a bit of a reason for her mental break, but again, like a lot of stuff, it's not really easily explained, especially since all of it is other people making guesses for her. So, if you are interested in a good, quick It goes very fast. I have it right over here. The Vegetarian by Han Kang. I like it. The plot was quick, reading was quick. It ramps up real quick. And I liked that. It was good. Something I appreciated. Because some of the other books I've been reading have a bit of a slow burn happening, which is not what I wanted right now. I wanted quick. Yeah, I don't think you guys can see how aggressive that blush still ends up on me even when I knock a bunch of product off. One of these days I'm going to dislocate that handle and I'm going to be real sad. Then I'd probably just put some resin on there and glue the handle back on. Yeah, so I really liked that. I appreciate having some interesting books to read. I liked it a lot. Ooh, brows. Brows are interesting because I shaved part of them off and tried to make sure they were the same amount off, and I don't think I did it. But it's not like anybody at my house cares, and I don't have work until next week. Even then, if I put on makeup, probably nobody will notice. Because I really want to just bleach in some highlights and then dye them like peach and salmon. That sounds real good to me. But I'm working on it. I have a plan. It does not involve bleaching my hair. I've been working on this plan for like 2 years, trying to grow out all the bleach that I did to my hair. It's finally there. It's finally going away. Here I am, stuck at home with all the old stuff from when I used to bleach my hair still right there. So tempted to just do weird shit to it. But if my company does not survive these questionable economic times, I will have to be job hunting, which is not the easiest when you have hair that's a non-traditional color. Which I'm really hoping we make it through, but it's not any of my control right now. I'm not working. I'm not making the big decisions. I did what I could to schedule some money to come in on paid claims before I left for 2 weeks, and we'll see what we can do and if we're allowed to open back up once the 2 weeks are over. Hopefully the people who are approved to work from home are getting some money coming in. We'll see what happens. I kind of feel like I should use a brow pencil on the tail of my brow. Don't know. I do have one. Let's use it. I have this old Cella Tantalizing Taupe brow pencil from who knows when. be a lot easier with some type of pomade, which I don't have anymore because I used all of mine up. So let's just hope that these brow tips look passable. Who knows? Not my problem. Well, I guess technically it is because it's my face, but not a big problem for me. Nobody I'm seeing is going to care. I am going to use some Moonchild Glow Kit. I think we'll do a combination of Blue Moon and Blue Ice. And just get that on my face. Let's start with just the Blue Moon to start, and then we'll kind of lighten it up with Blue Ice. I think that'll work. And then we're running out of stuff. See, I don't know if you guys want to start trying to do book reviews. Hopefully I'll read some more books before quarantine is fully over. I want to use Horns next. I started to read it, I liked it. It didn't really work for trying to read out loud on video, but I did like it. My friend said she liked it a lot, the book. I liked the movie for sure. And I feel like if I've seen a movie based off of an interesting book like that, I should read the book. Especially because most of the time I read the book first. Oh no. I have to pick lipstick soon. I don't really know what I would want to wear with this. I have this one that I really didn't like. The Bare Minerals Honesty lipstick was one of the ones I got as like a point perk, and it's really sheer and kind of lame, not very opaque. So thinking that'll be more of like an office, wear it to the office in case I have issues type lipstick. I have a lot in here, but I also am lazy and don't want to do it with a whole bunch of reapplying. That's a little much. Just a little much. Ooh, but maybe Griffin. Yeah. We'll do Griffin once I get my lashes on. That sounds like I'm putting on lashes. I'm not putting on strip lashes or anything. I'm just putting on mascara. Did I? I did not put that in my bra to warm up like usual, so I guess we'll see how it works cold. Oh, that is not my favorite. Hopefully it's passable cold. Ever since I figured out how much more I like mascara when it's warmed up, I just really never use it cold anymore. I can hear my mom in the other room telling a story she told me the other day. I don't know if she knows that we can hear her. It's not bad dry. Not dry, cold. Yeah, so normally my dad is the one who calls a bunch of relatives and has long conversations updating them and kind of keeps everybody in the loop on our family and keeps us updated on what they're up to. But since my mom can't travel, she was supposed to go see my grandma this week, but that's all fallen through because of travel restrictions and safety. I think if my mom could have gotten straight out to my grandma, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal, but in order to, my grandma lives on Long Island, so my mom would have to fly in through either JFK or LaGuardia, which is a big airport with a lot of exposure risks. And I'm moderately sure they've shut down most domestic air travel, so she's gotta call people and update them herself now. Which plays a fun game of like me listening and hearing people in other rooms telling stories that I've already heard and seeing how consistent they are with what they do and don't keep in from the first and second time. Also, turns out one of my aunts didn't even know my sister was pregnant, and she had that baby a month or two ago. So it's looking quite nice on this eye. Not as good on this eye, but hopefully the second coat will clear that up. Yeah, this one eye is not behaving. One of these days I will test out my theory that I could get the lashes to match. Let me just do it real quick and see how hard it is. Oh, real hard. If I could ever get a good setup so I was ambidextrous and I could put the mascara on from the same angle for both eyes, I feel like I would get good lashes on both sides as opposed to having good on one side and wonky on another. Because I'm not good at hitting that same angle for like my good eye versus my wonkier eye. I have little smudges all over about there. Nope, nope, nope. We're not gonna poke it while the mascara is still wet and might clump funny. That's a plan. So, Griffin lipstick. I really like this. I didn't think, well actually I did. I had Stone Fox from NYX back in the day. Oh. So I should have known that I was gonna love this because I loved that. And that was a cool toned gray lipstick. I like that. It's not the best lipstick application, but mine never are. I'm also trying to wash my hair less, so this is day 3 hair. I'm still conditioning it to kind of like break up the oil on the roots when I take my showers, but looks nice in my opinion. So yeah, hopefully this was a chill time. Let me know what books you've been reading. If you suggest Horns by, I think it's Joe Hill, it's the next one I'm going to try and read. Maybe I'll finally read Turtles All the Way Down, because I bought it, and then I never really sat down and went to do it. I actually ended up reading An Absolutely Remarkable Thing before Turtles All the Way Down, so I need to do that so I can get current on my Hank and John Green stuff. I have a lot of books that I've started and never quite finished. Like Historian is really good, but it's a more dense, slow build book. Yeah. Just need to start finishing things so I can read other books and get through my huge assortment of that one bookcase is my to read books I haven't finished and haven't read yet. And I have a pile, like 2 piles on my bedstand of ones that I've set aside as, yes, these are coming up to read scene things I need to do soon, and I just keep doing other stuff. But there's no excuse during quarantine. Thank you for stopping by. I will see you guys tomorrow. I don't know if I have any collection filming plans today. We will see. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. My main goal was to get eyeshadow on, and I did. The gradient turned out nice. I wish there wasn't that one patch, but I think I covered it with the shimmer eyeshadow. I will see you guys next time. Stay safe.